Welcome back. Forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty, having been away and on absolute vacation as I celebrated my daughter's wedding on Cape Cod. We were just talking about how an airline known as American just kind of messed up a honeymoon and a vacation plans for 20 people. I don't understand. In any case, we've got business to talk about. I'm glad you're here with us. We've got a great turnout today. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that's been sent in that we're going to tackle. Plus, if you have an issue, an opportunity, bring it, type it in now. If you want me to turn your microphone on, please do. I would love to hear you. We would love to hear your voice so we can have a conversation. Now, to start off today's program, I have invited my friend, my mentor, and my competitor to join us this morning, Mike Marchev. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Stuart. Good morning, everybody.
And the reason why Mike is here is because we were having our catch-up talk this morning. And when we talk about everything and anything. And we talk, of course, a lot about business, what's going on in his world and my world, and our experiences with other vendors as well, and how we learn from other businesses that do good and don't do good, and how we do it different, and bringing those experiences here to you and to each other so we can all grow. And the conversation we started like this, Mike, was that I received, and I'm going to be bold, I'm not going to reveal any names, but I received a very long letter via email from an agent who expressed nothing but gratitude and was very, very, very kind. And at the same time, asked for my advice. And my first reaction is, oh my gosh, when am I going to have time to read this and go through it? We're all busy. And I got talking to Mike, and he reminded me of the gift, receiving something like this, to be thought of as a mentor, as a business coach to help. And I thought that this would be a great environment to share this with you, which I will, because her issue, her opportunity is perfect for today's show. It has to do with groups. And but Mike, you also shared with me an experience that you had with a company who was vying for your business. So give us the setup here. And I think the theme here, Mike, is all about, hey, when you get an email either asking for help or somebody trying to sell you something, there might just be an opportunity around the corner. Sometimes we dismiss things as time wasters when we should not. Tell us about the situation, Mike.
Well, Stuart, I don't want to take up too much time of your time with your audience, but since you asked, I will share something that I think happened to me this past week that may serve as a stimulator or a motivator for the people on the line. Because of my position, my title, my career, when I have an opportunity to ask for free information, I do so for a couple of reasons. Number one, I might learn something from the opportunity. And number two, I want to see how other people present their products and services, to see how they package it, what they say, how much they say, what they don't say. So it's kind of a learning experience. And I got an email I saw something on the web once upon a time from Fisher Investments, which is like a Merrill Lynch type of an outfit.
Right.
And they said, if you want your free retirement information booklet, put in your name and address. So I did. It was my idea. I gave them my email address and my name, and they sent me this special report on how to spend wisely in retirement.
Okay.
And I studied the brochure and learned what I learned. And I half expected a phone call follow-up, because good companies follow up. And I did get the phone call from this outfit. And I politely said, thank you very much for the professionalism and following up. I'm a salesman. I appreciate what you're doing, but you can take me off your list because I'm not a good candidate, on and on and on. So yesterday I got an email from a fella, and he said, I know you're busy. I've been trying to contact you. And he was following up again.
Wait, you want me to show that email? Do you want me to show the letter?
Yeah, you can show the exact and this is, I know this is a repeat for Hans. Hang with me, Hans.
But let me, I just want to add everybody something that what this company did, in this case Fisher, they did what I do, what Mike does, what we recommend you all do. Offer free stuff. Go fishing. And Mike took advantage of it. So I just want to reiterate that they're doing the right thing. Go ahead, pick it up, Mike.
Well, it was my idea. I asked for it, and he followed up, which he should have done. All he's trying to do is feed his family, just like you and I are trying to feed our family, not to become a wise guy. Right. So this is the exact phraseology of yesterday's email I received from a fellow by the name of Josh. You can read it to yourself. Thanks for your interest. I know you're busy. Can I schedule a phone call in the future, is what he said. Now, most, and I'm going to say 90% of people in my position would just delete this email and move on with their life, figuring that silence would give Josh all the message he needs. Well, here's a professional doing his job. He contacted a professional, which I like to think I am. So I thought it was my obligation to close the loop. I started it, so let me finish it. So most people would not do this. Now, Stuart, show the next email. Now, this is a speaker speaking. You're a travel agent, so you just put in your own words. Josh, thanks for the follow-up. My needs are addressed by my son. I told him I'm the wrong guy because my son's in the business. But here's the applause. I've always respected you and your company, and I wanted to see, the information that you dispersed. Right. But then I took this as an opportunity to just throw a dart out and say, on the flip side, I'm a sales trainer and you're in sales and your company's big and you're professional, and let me give you my website just in case you're looking for somebody with my credentials. And then I told them, because some people aren't smart enough to know what to do with it, I said, hey, give it to the meeting planner if you're not the guy. So my message is this. These come into your mailbox every day. One of my sales strategies is get people to contact you. When they come to you, you have their attention because they came to you. So when people come to you, don't call it junk mail. Don't call it spam. Don't call it a lot of things that you call it to make yourself feel good. Look at it. Is there an opportunity here for me to position my industry, myself, my company? Can I position myself as the real deal? Because, folks, let's face it, today's world, I'll say the world, especially our country, it's a mess. The people, they're uncaring, they don't care, they don't read, they don't study, they don't do research, they don't listen to people, they don't do anything. They just want stuff for gratuitously. And for you to stick out like a sore thumb as a professional, as someone who's the real deal, it's so refreshing when you come into their life. So every opportunity you have to become refreshing, and that means doing things right, being polite, being honest, having a sense of humor. Just do it right. You'll stick out like a sore thumb, and then you let the dice fall where they may. I sent the letter.
Mike, did we lose you? Oh my goodness, can anybody else hear Mike? I can't hear Mike. He disappeared. He was on a roll too. Hey, let me know. So Amber, you can still hear me? Okay, we lost Mike. So you guys can hear me, but you can't hear Mike. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You could see Mike's letter. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. Okay. I don't know. When did I go off? I don't know.
We lost you at hello.
Oh, there you go. You heard the good part.
No, we heard you explaining that we need to be fresh, that we need to do the unexpected, and you never know what we get back. So you were just urging to do crazy stuff like this because you never know. It could turn into something.
That's right. That was the message. And these happen every day. They come into your email box, opportunities, and it takes you 2 or 3 minutes to close this loop. And I think it's worth the time.
Yeah. I agree. Well, I appreciate you sharing this. And I've got to believe, for years also, I've been saying, hey, when you get a bill from the the gas company and you still pay the old-fashioned way by check, put your business card in there. There's so much talk about, networking. I know, Scott, you and I were talking about networking things and BNI and this and that, but sometimes we overlook these little opportunities about networking. Who knows? Josh and Mike, they could end up being goombas, best buds. You don't know until you try. It's maybe nothing. It could be something.
Well, Stuart, just my last point about the check, that I beat this into my son, and he finally has the message that I told him, never, ever, ever send a check to anybody. Mm-hmm. Never send a check to anybody without a little personal note in the envelope. Mm-hmm. There's nothing worse. You know it as a speaker. The envelope comes, there's a check in it. Okay, you got paid, you're happy, everything's nice. But what a difference it makes with a little note saying, Stuart, me and my group really enjoyed your program. It was delightful working with you. I mean, it makes all the difference in the world moving forward.
Yeah, good point. And to that point too, I've got a guy who he works for a garage repair company. It's his own company, and he fixes. I have a gate, an electronic gate, that opens and closes on the Midtown house, and I've never met the guy. I call him, he shows up, he fixes it, I send him a check right away. I mean, I believe in paying these people right away, because the next time I call, I want him to come to me right away. But I always put a little note. And for the first time, I put a business card in. What if he attends an annual conference of garage door and garage gate repair people? Yeah, I'm just saying. So, Mike, thanks for being on and sharing this.
Yep, you're welcome. I'm going to go back to bed now. You couldn't tell I'm a little under the weather today, but Stuart, thanks for giving me a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us, Mike. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm grateful that Mike was able to join us with that message. And I'm sure everyone who's on right now, you get solicited all day long, right? You're solicited, whether it's a financial company, a million different ways. And look, they're all trying to make a buck just like you're trying to make a buck. And who knows, sometimes you can play it up and make a friend, sometimes not, but it's worth a try. All right, so as you guys are typing in your questions, hey, Kay's in the house, Ruth is here, hi, Scott. One of the questions you posted, Scott, I think it was you, Scott, that posted about Alignable. So I'm going to ask, while I'm reading this to kick off today's program, does anybody use Alignable for networking and leads? And is anybody using BNI to their success as a travel agent? So I think that's a good conversation to have to see if we can understand best practices. And no doubt, different areas, I'm sure different organizations work better than others. But it'd be interesting to see what everyone's using out there. Just so you know, my experience with Alignable is I didn't know it was legit. I still don't know it's legit. I don't know anything about it. So on occasion, I get an email from somebody saying, hey, such and such wants to connect with you so you can connect and generate new leads and whatever. And I delete it. I'm telling you honestly, because, oh my gosh, between Facebook and between LinkedIn, and I don't do Twitter, I just don't, but some other forms of social marketing. I'm on Instagram now. Snapchat I use only for personal reasons. How much more can I do? I know Melissa had started a big conversation about meetup.com and starting meetup groups. And there's a lot of active conversations about that now on the Group Sales Success Summit page. So let me just read this from Nancy. I'll put my glasses on. We'll read this from, hey, Nancy, I'm glad that you're here. Hey, Stuart, better late than never. Happy to hear your smiling face today. Just finished adjusting the last of my thank you notes from folks that stopped by my booth at the North Atlantic Blues Festival this summer. That's right. You had a festival and you're sending out thank you notes. You're putting yourself in opportunities way, Nancy. You're meeting people, and I'm grateful that you shared that, and I hope something shakes from it. I hope you get some leads, you get some prospects. And I still do have this question from 2 weeks ago that I want to see if I can come back to talk about. But I want to get to this long email so agents, let me ask you this question. Have you ever gotten a voicemail or an email from somebody, maybe you know, maybe you don't, and they're asking a million questions? And the first thing that runs through your mind is, because this is what happened to me, oh my gosh, this is what I get paid for. People pay me a lot of money for coaching, to speak on stage, to be a part of boot camp, to do the summit. How do I do this? And then I realized, hold on, get off that high horse. Get off the high horse, because I teach you, I train, I coach that we want stuff like this. Number one, because apparently I've successfully positioned myself as an authority, a celebrity authority, somebody who's an expert in the field. I'm grateful to get this. So I ask you guys, are you getting questions like these? Have you positioned yourself as a celebrity authority? Because this is exactly what you want too. Part two to that is, am I responsible for, am I obligated now to answer this? And Mike helped me out. He goes, Stuart, this is a gift. Now, how you answer it and to what degree, to what depth, to what level is up to you, but you definitely want to respond, because this wonderful agent, you know why this is a gift? Because this agent is thinking. She's aggressive. She's ambitious. She's an entrepreneur. This is the real deal. How many people out there don't ask any questions? So friends, I want to take you through this, and when you position yourself as a celebrity authority, I hope you too can get these questions. Hang on, I just got to do one thing over here. Bear with me, everybody. Oh, wow, we got such a wonderful crowd. I see names I haven't seen here in a while. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I just need to do one quick thing here. Hold on. I got to do it. Bear with me, everybody. Okay, there we go. Done. Okay. And so what I did was I decided to leverage this to say, hey, you know what? Instead of writing back an answer, I'm going to share it with you because it's good stuff for groups. This is why we're here, number one. And number two is that I also invited her, hey, and at last minute, to come be my guest. I don't know, are you here? I don't know if you're here. I'll just use a first name, Jackie. I don't know if Jackie's here. I answered her very last second, and who knows? Maybe by helping her, okay, maybe she'll buy a product from me in the future. If not her, maybe Jackie will say, oh, Stuart was very kind. He answered a question I needed help with. You should call him, check him out, join his boot camp, join his summit. We got to do good. And I always say that, just like what Mike shared with Fisher Investments, okay, he asked for something free. We need to give out just enough free stuff, just enough to prove we're the experts that we are, because maybe Mike will refer somebody to Fisher. Maybe Jackie will refer somebody to me, so it's all good. So here it is. I've never done groups, but listened to your recent Group Success Summit, attended your workshops for Dream Vacations, inspired me to get a group together for August 19th. That's good news. I feel good. I inspired somebody. Friends, are you inspiring somebody right now to go on vacation, to do something they've never done before? Number two, I'm a huge fan of Downton Abbey. And I'd love to take a group to London to see the castle and the village of Bampton. Okay, two of the places where Downton was filmed. Now listen carefully, friends. I don't have a pre-formed group. So to find passengers, I thought I'd follow the same model that you and your wife used when you chartered that river cruise a year or so ago. You guys know this. I did a partial ship charter of the Ama Christina and invited my friends and family. So she said, I'm going to ask who would like to come with me. So the first thing I did was to post a teaser on Facebook a couple of weeks ago to pique people's interest. The post reached almost 600 people, but only a couple of people gave me their email address. So that was a bit disappointing. So I want to take this now. Now Jackie's not in boot camp, but you guys who've been in boot camp, if you have studied my group launch sequence, you know what was wrong here. And I say this with nothing but love. So the problem here is when you put something out like that, hey, who's interested, send me your email address. Friends, what you're asking somebody to do, it's a big ask. You're asking them to make a commitment before they know any details. They may not know you, they don't know when, they don't know the price point, and out of those 600 people, maybe there was 20%, 30%, 50% who love Downton Abbey too, who may have always been curious about traveling, exploring, but man, if I send my email address to this person, that means I'm committing myself. I'm going to sit back and wait. So that's error number one. Now, based on group launch sequence, what would I have said to do? Well, what did I do with my group cruise on the Ama Christina, my river cruise? Okay, I knew I was going to do it. I wanted to do it because my wife and I wanted to go. Same with Jackie. Jackie wants to go. And I implore you guys, you be the group leader, go where you want to go. That's step one. Step two is not to say who wants to come, send me your email address, but it's the, who's saying it now? The whisper campaign. I bet you somebody's typing it in too. It's the whisper campaign, right? The whisper campaign is, shh, I'm planning something big, right? You're just going to put teasers out there. The last thing in the world you want to do is have people obligate themselves to something they know nothing about, because you're giving them a chance to say no immediately. Okay, so it's a whisper camp. Psst, save the date. Psst, save the date. Something big is coming. And then it's followed up by what? You guys know it's the survey. We've talked about this at length. The survey cannot obligate. The survey is just there to ask general questions. What would if you were here, what are the things that would be most important to see that you wouldn't want to miss? And I know you're going to state a lot of the obvious, but that's okay, because people want to see the obvious. They want to make sure they see the castle. They want to make sure they see the town. They want to make sure they get that Downton Abbey experience. So that survey is there not to obligate, but it's there to pique people's interest, get them, keyword, engaged in the process. So Jackie, you can go back and you can start the group launch sequence again, but as Jeff Walker says, your first shot across the bow can't be, tell me if you're interested. It's hey, I got something big I'm cooking, and here and psst, I'm not going to tell you much. I want to get you intrigued. I want to pique your interest. P-I-Q-U-E, good word. And then the survey. So let me get back to this here, follow through. Then she says, I thought it'd be a good idea to come up with the itinerary, which is great, because I planned the river cruise. I signed the contracts before I did the group launch sequence. I had to go forward with this positively, that I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It's not, okay, if I have interest, I'll book the space. My wife and I said, we're going. We're going to be, because I'm a risk taker. Okay. And she said she looked at big name tour companies, and then she was thinking of doing a custom group itinerary. And these are all little mini details, whether it's a custom group itinerary or using a preset itinerary. But the next issue came down to deposits. She's asking, man, I got to put up this money, and I don't have this money because I have nobody interested. I have no money coming in. What do I do? What do I do? So I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but friends, I've got two answers here. Number one, if you're an entrepreneur and if you're in this business, and if you want to launch something like this, you need to be prepared to do what entrepreneurs do, which is make an investment, which means you need to have cash on hand. Cash on hand. Okay, my wife and I, we made an agreement. I was going to put up the money. You don't have to pay with the charter. You don't have to put it all up at once. You do pay it out. Thank goodness you do pay it out. But we had to front some of the money. And friends, you may not want to hear this, but I'm telling you something you need to hear is that you may have to front the money. Mike, who you just heard from, he does an annual business coaching cruise in January. I think he's going on number 6. Okay, but do you think he waits for money to come in and then? No, he's got to lock it in first. He puts up the money, he puts it at risk, which means that when he goes out to market it and sell it, he also does it with more confidence. It's happening. We're going. You want to come with me? Sign up now. Versus, well, let's see if we have interest, we'll go. If not, it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to sign up, right, friends? So she says, now I'm stuck. If I already had a group of people committed to going, I wouldn't hesitate to deposit. I'm just worried I won't be able to fill the group. Now, I'm not going to go into the rest of the details here, but I will tell you, friends, now, again, if you have any feedback on this, let me know if anybody has done a group like this before, okay? But no matter what kind of group it is, number one, if you want to be the group leader, I suggest you do a trip every year, okay? You pick where you want to go. Number two, you do a whisper campaign. You just kind of get a little buzz going, pique the interest. Don't give any details, but you need to save the date. I did a save the date, and I didn't put a specific date. If you guys remember, listen to me carefully. All I said was save the date April 2017. I didn't say anything more. Well, wait a minute. This trip is, so my point is I didn't even give a specific date. I gave very, very, very little. Okay, then I did the survey, and if you're new to boot camp, if you haven't seen my survey, it's there in boot camp. I'll post it again in the boot camp Facebook group. But I love the one question survey. You get people engaged. Okay, I'm not signing up for anything. Keep it anonymous. Anonymous. Don't require people to put their email addresses, Jackie. I know you wanted to get email addresses first, but people are reticent. Is that the word? Reticent. They hesitate because, oh my God, everyone's got my email address. I get bombarded with mail. Look, Mike gets from Fisher Investments. We get 1 million emails a day. People are hesitant about signing up for new lists. And so in that survey, you're still not asking for commitments. Don't give me your email just if you don't want to. But here's a comment section. Where else do you want to see? What else do you want to do? What else have you heard about? And I got a lot of feedback there. It was good feedback. Okay, and then you launch, listen, Jackie, then you launch, this is the secret to the group launch success sequence. You launch the series of events. The only commitment, Jackie, you're asking for now is, hey, show up for this free information event. I'll say it again. Sign up for this free information event. It's an information event. It's not an opportunity meeting. It's not a sales call. It's information. And you guys have seen the videos, what I did with Kimberly. We shared information. We took people along the path. That's the sequence. And we told them, if you're excited, you can't give me money now. You can't buy it now. In fact, I'm not even giving you the price now. You'll have to stick around for our third information event to get the price. And by the way, I'll give you the price on Wednesday, and it opens for sale on Friday and closes on Saturday. Now, I've just revealed big secrets. I'd like to patent the group launch sequence, but what I'm doing is what other marketers do outside of the travel industry. It's called a launch. I did it with Group Sales Success Summit, didn't I, friends? Now, you're in boot camp. And maybe you bought boot camp as part of the summit. I don't know. Tell me if you did. And I'm going to get to your questions and comments here. But I want to make sure I knock this out of the park. With the Group Sales Success Summit, on day 5, I said, hey, if you want to buy it, if you want to buy unlimited access, it's $129 or $199. But hang on. If you buy it in the next 48 hours, it's $99. And I all my business came in 2 days. Actually, the first day, almost everybody bought at the 99 within those first day or two, and I lived true to my word. It's $199, and we do the same for groups, friends, because we have to give people a sense of urgency. We have to take control of the sale. And we have to tell them when it's time to book, when it's okay to book. If we don't take full control, okay, then they won't know when to book. They'll wait for the next guy, the next couple. But at the very beginning, you don't ask for email addresses. You just put it out there to the world. You put it out to the world. All right, let me see if we got any comments here. What I just said, let me see here. So Kay says, what is Alignable? It's A-L, Alignable. I don't know if any of you guys want to share what Alignable is. I still don't know, but you can type it in or tell me and I'll put your microphone on. Jan says, would like to hear best practices with Alignable. I do have a profile, but don't really use it. Maybe it's good. Jan, I can't help you. I don't know anything about it. So maybe somebody else has that experience. And if none of you do, I'll make it my business to learn about Alignable and share some stuff with you. Here we go. Elaine says, I'm signed up with Alignable, but don't use it a lot. I occasionally go on and answer some of the questions that are asked, but that's about all I do with it. So thank you, Elaine, for sharing that, but I still don't know exactly what it is. Is it a community like Facebook? What is it more like? Is it more like LinkedIn? I don't know. Nancy says, just started a meetup and I'm organizing last Tuesday travel talk series. Very casual. I'm inviting folks from the meetup and other clients. Nancy, I love it. Because Nancy, one of the things, now listen, everybody come back to me here, that Nancy said is that she's got about a half dozen or over 15 meetings, meeting planners, okay? Nancy, you've successfully built up your list of potential group leaders, of people who know you, like you, and so you want to know, because this is a good segue here to answer this question, of how do you woo and hook these potential affinity group leaders into hiring me as their group coordinator? And she says this, and listen, everybody, how often do I contact them, call or set up appointments? How often do I drop by? How do I keep in touch without being pushy? Are there ways to offer my support and suggestions for their problem? So here's what I would say. What you're doing, Nancy, is brilliant. Okay, in your case, you want to do the meetup group. And some of those people might join you. The key is don't make it about you, make it about them. What do you need? What do you want to know? What information, Nancy, can you provide as a celebrity authority, as an expert? That's what it's all about. And it comes back to the very first thing we talked about here. You want to get these long letters, right, Nancy, from people who know you, who love you, and who may eventually hire you or refer somebody to you. So by putting yourself out there in a meetup group and having regularly scheduled meetings, it's beautiful. Are you issuing? Now, I know there's so many newsletters out there, but it doesn't have to be regular. It can be a sentence or two. Share. How about just sharing your experiences? If you attend training, hey, listen, when I do training, so I'm going to Cancun next week to do training, and then I'm going in 2 weeks, I'm going to Minneapolis and Denver to do more training, and I love it. But here's what I tell the people in the audience. Okay, who here in this room, and for those of you who've seen me live, you know I do this. Who here in this room has posted on social media that you've made the commitment? You flew on an airplane, you're at a hotel, you're here getting training, and a few hands go up. So I said, I don't understand. And Nancy, this is for you too, friends. Are you telling the world that you just attended a live business coaching session with the best business coach in the world? Because I say this to live audiences. I said, friends, I'll make you a deal. If you take a picture with me, I will post it. Let's post it. And I will say, I'm standing here with the best travel agent in the world. He or she flew here to be with me for training. This person is amazing. You can leverage that. And I said, in exchange, I want you to post the picture of us. I'm going to post it on my website. Okay, I'm going to say, hey, this agent, I want you to say, I'm here with the best speaker in the world, right? Because your people, your followers will be impressed. Oh my gosh, you're down there with training. And look, I don't know who this guy, Stu Cohen, is, but he must be the best speaker in the world because she said so. And if I post it about you, they're like, oh, Stuart's with this travel agent, Scott. He must be the best travel agent in the world because Stuart said so. Why aren't we? So my point, Nancy, coming back to you is, and everybody, make sure you tell the world whenever you attend training, okay? And of course, leverage all of your trips that you're going, everything you're reading, and all your takeaways. It's a takeaway thing. But I'm going to start doing, I haven't done yet, but I'm going to start, whenever I read an ad, I am moved by another company in a good or bad way, I'm going to share the takeaway of how it moved me and how we can apply it to our businesses to be smarter. It's just applying everyday life, which is what Mike did when he got that letter from Fisher. Nancy says the Whisker campaign, then to get on the short list. No obligation. However, the short list survey sent to those that are already interested to be involved. Part of the planning. This is working for a spring tour. So Nancy is doing this. Now narrow down to walking instead of cycling, Portugal instead of Spain, and the best week for 4 out of 5. So what you're doing, Nancy, is through the survey, through this engagement process, you're learning what people want and what they don't want. So the survey really is for two purposes. Number one, for you to get people engaged, and number two, for you to gather information. That's the dual purpose of that survey, that shot across the bow survey. Kay said, I did put up money. Only 2 wanted to go, so I got a refund. They will refund if you do it within time limit. Absolutely, Kay. So, having cash on hand, friends, you want to be smart. Nobody wants to put money at risk, and I'm not telling you got to put up money and kiss it goodbye if it doesn't work. But that's why you got to start really far out. Really far out. As you guys know, with my River Cruise group, I started almost 2 full years out. So I actually started my group launch sequence before I even wrote the first check to Amber Waterways. So why can't you, friends, start that Whisper campaign, the very first shot across the bow before the survey, before any deposits are due? You can if you're early enough out. Amber, what about people who want to book after the deadline date? So Amber is questioning, here's the way that works. As part of the group launch sequence, you tell people you can buy not now, now. Now I'll take your money, and now I won't. It's over. And so, Amber, the purpose of that is, again, to create a sense of urgency, to validate, okay, we're done. There's no more information coming. It's time to make a decision, and you're coming with us. Let's go. Everyone else is too, right? And you say, I can't take your money right now because we're processing all the bookings that have come in. Okay, so hang on. And by the way, if I do have space left, now listen, Amber, here's what you say. If we do have space after we take care of all the bookings that have come in, let's see if we can get you on. Let's see if we can get more space or get you accommodated. You got to play that marketing game. It's important because, Amber, if you whisper to people, don't worry, I've got tons of space, I'll take your money after, then there's no sense of urgency. You have to play the marketing game the correct way. And I told people also, just like with the Group Sales Success Summit, I said it's $199. However, if you buy it within these 48 hours, it's $99. You could do the same with your trip. I'm not into discounting, friends, but what you can say is this is the price point. However, if you deposit in these 48 hours, maybe you knock $100 off or something, but don't say that's the discounted price. Say this is the price, and if you book during our 2-day period, it's this, okay? But this is the regular price. Don't tell people it's going up, okay? Tell people it's come down for the early bookers, or offer something of value. Throw something in that everyone would definitely want. It can't be something, if it's a massage, they may say, oh, I don't do massages, I don't like it, I have, eczema or something. You know what I mean? Be very careful. Karen, hey, Karen's in the house. New. I joined boot camp after GSSS. I also recently read Jeff Walker's book upon your recommendation. Recognize the sequence while reading. There you go, Karen. There you go. It's a great book, isn't it? And Jeff, I'm on Jeff Walker's email list, as Mike is too. And we get an email from Jeff almost every day. He does joint ventures. He does launches all day long. He just helps people build their list, and it's a filter. Just like, friends, if you think, Jackie, if you're going to do this group, you're going to start off with 600 people, and how many people are going to come. I had 2,500 people sign up for the Group Sales Success Summit. Of course, everybody did not buy the summit, but I hit my goal. I made bank, and they were appreciative, and I'm appreciative, but I knew you're never going to have 100%. It's about that filter process, and the people who want it will buy it. Okay, so Scott says that Alignable is more like LinkedIn. Okay, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Jan says, Stuart, it's more like LinkedIn. They send out questions and give members a chance to show their expertise by answering. Now, that's interesting. So that actually puts your expertise into play. Very, very interesting. Okay. Elaine says, Alignable, it's like an online network group. You can advertise events on it and specials that you have going on, and you can recommend businesses and refer businesses. I just accept from people I feel can be beneficial to me. Okay. Very interesting. Lena says, I'm also a member of Alignable. It is a national community where you make contacts and recommend each other. I'm not very active, as it seems to take a lot of time. Personally, I would never recommend a business I have not used and like. I'm with you, Lena, right? We're only going to recommend a business to a friend or associate or family if we know of them and love them, because then our reputation's on the line when we do a referral. So I get it. I have made a few good connections, including a prospective client, but to me and any group that encourages referrals from people who have not used your service lose a bit of credibility. Yeah, I hear you, which is, I think, different from BNI to a degree, because there it's all about giving each other referrals, right? But thing is, you may not have had a chance to experience that person's workmanship, but because they're in BNI, because they're showing up every week or every other week for meetings, then I guess you trust. You believe that they're good. They're good at what they're doing. So interesting that just because you're in a BNI group doesn't mean you have experience with everyone else who's also a member, who you're sort of obligated to give leads to, which is why I cannot join BNI. I travel a lot. I can't go to all the meetings, and I don't like that sense of obligation. All right, so Amber, that information worked for you. Scott says good points, good stuff. All right, so I have cleaned up all of your comments and questions here, and I see there's a lot of names here. Beverly's here, Colleen's in the house, Danielle's here. Hi, Danielle, we just saw each other. Where did we see each other? In Fort Lauderdale, right? Was it? Oh, no, Chicago. In Chicago, that's right. I did a Travel Leaders Network program on sales, pure sales. Dawn is here, Denise is here, Geneva is here. Wow, this is awesome. Jennifer, Judy, Kay, Karen, Linda, Paris. This is so exciting. All right, guys, do you have something on your mind? Hi, Ramona, or else I'm going to go to the next thing here. So let me just see. Hang on. Let me just take a breath. And I didn't bring my cup of coffee. Can you believe I didn't bring my cup of coffee? I already had it. I forgot to bring it in here. Do we have any other from you guys who are on right now? You want your microphone turned on. If not, I'm going to go to questions that have been sent in. I'm going to give you a 5-second countdown. 5-second countdown. Oh, I have a question for you all. All right, here's an opportunity. Tell me, I need your feedback, please. I do. Man, this is a secret. It's a secret. So it's very hard to tell secrets when also, all right, so I can't give you the specific details because this is going to be made for public shortly. But I have an opportunity. I've been asked by a particular company to be an influencer, to shoot a video of me there on site enjoying the services and amenities of the product. I've done it before. They're asking me to come back and do it again, and this time it's in Jamaica. That's all I'm going to say. And because I'm there, I've decided, let me do some kind of a special meeting. So I really do need your feedback. I want to do a meeting. It could be group training. It could be mastermind, business planning, and it doesn't even have to be specifically travel, because I'm in the process of launching my next new brand, which you may have heard me talk about, called Solopreneur Network. It's been in a stagnant stage for almost 2 years now, but so Solopreneur Network will continue to help you as business owners, but help all kinds of businesses. Like me, I'm a solopreneur. If you own your business, you're a solopreneur. And my definition of solopreneur is somebody who doesn't necessarily has the goal of hiring people, of hiring a staff. I like going it alone, and I hire people along the way to do the work with me and for me on a fee basis. Okay, so I have an opportunity to do a really cool event in Jamaica in December, and I want to make sure, of course, first and foremost, it's the subject matter I adore and love and want to share, but what the need is, and is there enough time? It would be very, very small. It would be a very exclusive group, maybe a dozen people or so, where we'd be able to spend time together and really get sort of micro in some great areas. I could spend one-on-one time with folks, but it's at a gorgeous, all-inclusive, and the cost will be phenomenal. Trust me on that. So anybody have any feedback? I just wanted to put this out there for you all if you had any ideas, because I have a whole book of ideas, and I need to make a decision this week of a kind of event. And by the way, by you sharing your idea does not mean you're obligating yourself to come. You're not. Trust me. I'm just as business owners, as colleagues, okay? I just wanted to get your feedback. You know, is there something out there that's needed that you think I can fulfill that maybe I haven't mentioned or thought of? And I want to see if anybody has any comments. And I do not see any comments, so nobody has any thoughts of that. Okay, that's okay. So I want to get to this next question here. I wanted to ask you guys this question. 2 weeks ago, Karen has sent a question. What do I need to do on a daily basis that could propel my groups for next year? I am curious, would each of you type in one thing? This is a group share. It's a group share. Okay, I didn't have time to do this 2 weeks ago. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? Okay, and I'm not saying to sell groups, but to build your list, to get prepared for a strong 19 and 2020. Because one of the things I always stress to you all is don't focus on selling. Focus on building your list. And then when it's time to sell something, the right people will buy it when the right time is ready. Just like if you're selling travel, they may not be ready to book travel now, but in 6 months they might. So to your point, Nancy, earlier, you want to keep in contact. You want to continue positioning yourself as the celebrity authority, as the expert. So this way they're always staying in touch. They don't want to miss anything you've got to say, but they're not ready to buy something now. But when they are, they're going to come to you. Okay, I do this too, obviously, and I know when the time is right, I'll get the phone call. Like I got this last minute gig in Cancun next week, okay, that I'm speaking at. Why? Because I just put myself out there. They were on my list and the time was right. Book the gig. So would you each type one thing in? What are you doing to build your list and or to stay connected to your list, to either to build your list or to stay connected to the list you already have, to basically to be able to source more business, new business from, ongoing business from. And before I read your comments, I want to make this statement to you, and some of you may have heard me say this, and Danielle in Chicago, you may have heard me say this, was that when a client is in the planning stage with you, we call them a client. When they're away on the trip, they're still considered a client. But in my book, when they come back from their trip, they've all paid up, everything is done. They have become your unclient. Am I making sense? They are your unclient because there's nothing in the hopper. There's no next trip. There's no deposit. There's no planning stage, right? It's done. It's over. And so what we need to do as business people is work as hard to get them from unclient back to client, because that's the cycle, right? Right, Danielle and everybody? That's the cycle. The cycle is client, unclient, client, unclient, client, unclient. That's the cycle we want. That's why our best bet is always to perpetuate, repeat, and referral business from the people who know us and love us versus abandoning them and looking for all new business. Okay, so what are you doing to build your list of new prospects and to stay in touch with, to continue positioning yourself as a celebrity authority to make your unclients clients again? Okay, a lot of stuff here. Nancy says, when are you coming back to the East Coast? I don't have plans right now on the East Coast. Like I said, I've got Minnesota and I've got Denver right now. Nothing on the East Coast just yet, Nancy. Sorry. I'll let you know when. Nancy, send the details. Jamaica again. It's going to be in December. I can't tell you where exactly or the exact dates, but it's going to be early December before the holiday rush starts. But it's an opportunity for me to host a small group of business owners. It could be in travel or not. But I certainly wanted to give you guys, my friends, an opportunity to give you some feedback, what you thought might be interesting for like maybe a day and a half of seminars, workshops in a very small environment. Amber says mighty short notice. Ruth says December is difficult. I get it. I appreciate this because that's why I'm like, can this work? Should I not even do it at all? Or should I just go do my job, be in the video, be the star, and not try this? I don't know. You know, sometimes these things work, sometimes they do. Segmenting, Nancy, my MailChimp list to specific interest ability. Yeah, friends, so if you have a list, segmenting that list is critical. Because if I'm on your list and you send me information about cruising, and I've told you that I don't like cruise ships. I get seasick. I'm afraid I'm going to eat too much. I don't want to get those emails. Guess what I'm going to do? Delete. I'm going to unsubscribe. So, friends, it's very important that you have the ability, and I use MailChimp too, Nancy, to segment your list. Now, if it's general news and information, it can go to everybody when you're telling people about your training or about your experience. That's fine. But if you're talking about a specific product, don't send me cruise information if you know I'm not a cruiser. And maybe you have a segmented list of people who have an interest in river cruising or have river cruised before. You segment that list too. And you ask people, you know, to join different lists. And it's very much what we do, friends, on Facebook. When we start a Facebook group, it's the same thing. Hey, be in this group. If you're a river cruise connoisseur, if you love river cruising or are thinking of river cruising, that's a specific group. All right. And if you love big ship cruising, join this group. If not, don't join it. It's the same. It's about segmenting. So you're speaking their language. You're telling me the things that fit my needs and my interests. Ruth says, identifying new people via clubs and activities socially. So this is something Ruth is doing, identifying new people via clubs and activities socially. I love it. And one of the things you could do, Ruth, I do this all the time, is if there's a luncheon and there's a guest speaker, I'll pay the $25 because I'm not a member of the organization, but I can go. And who knows who I'm going to meet? I learn something, I hope, from the speaker, and I meet people. And sometimes I could say, hey, if you need a speaker one day, somebody falls through them down the road, let me know. You know, and sometimes I do pro bono work where it makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Ruth. Judy says, deciding what trip we will want to escort. Also contacting several senior centers for talks. That's great. So Judy, this is what you're doing. So you're in the process of deciding what trip you want to escort. And friends, wouldn't it be great if everyone on the line right now, everyone, made a commitment that, and it could be 19, it could be 20, it could be 21, but at least you make a commitment. You're going to be the group leader. You're going to go where you and your spouse or your family or your friends want to go. It could be boys only, could be girls only, whatever. But you go where you want to go, and you bring your friends, families, and colleagues along with you. How exciting. So Judy, keep in touch on that. And good luck with the senior centers. And be careful. My guess is these senior citizens, they're getting, knocks on the door and phone calls all day long by you and 20,000 other agents. What do they need you for? Remember, if you're going in selling something, they're going to close the door. If you're going offering information, entertainment, okay, something of value, maybe they'll let you in the door to position yourself as the authority, as the expert, right? But friends, we don't want to go in selling something because they'll never let us in. Then he said, holding 2 divas with passports meetups per month. I stay in touch weekly via email to my list. So Denise has a meetup group called Divas with Passports. I love it. And Denise is going to make sure she stays in touch. She stays active. She leads that group as the leader and provides information that people are interested in. We've got, oh my goodness, we've got 4 minutes left. Alina says, starting a newsletter again to build my database. Going to make an appointment with myself 3 times a week to work on my database. Lena, I love it. Friends, what we're hearing is you making a commitment to get things done for your business because they're not going to get done by themselves. So Lena's going to start a newsletter again to build that database, to stay in touch, to stay engaged. I love it. Sharon says build. Ask for referrals from current clients. Remember what Vicky Fried said. You may not have been at the meeting, but Vicky Fried says this a lot. She goes, consumers, people, we're not born with the referral gene. We're not born with the referral gene. We have to ask for it. And remember my phrase, it pays. Remember my phrase, it pays, friends? It's 3 sentences, okay? Thank you for making me your travel agent. Your business is very important to me. Do you have any friends or family who need a vacation? That's it. It's a phrase that pays. Do you have any friends or family who need a vacation? You're going to ask that of everybody every time. Let me see if I get through all these. There's a lot. Ramona says, to prepare for 2019-20, I'm contacting and having coffee with high school alumni association directors. Beautiful. In the private school sector. Also, I'm scheduling coffee with meeting planners, event coordinators to build relationships with them. You're having those 15-minute meetings, Ramona. Beautiful. Hans said, Stuart, I certainly think putting some information out there on group sales Facebook page and seeing what response you get. I certainly think you would get some interested folks. Might be too short a notice, but as Mike says, give it a shot. Thank you, Hans. I appreciate that. Scott says he's interested in it. So I'm going to let you all know what if I do something. I'm not sure. Danielle says if the dates for Jamaica work, I'll be there. Cool. Thank you. Lori says I need help building my list, but for my existing list, I send weekly an e-zine. Haven't missed a week since July 2015. I do need to do a better job of segmenting. So Lori, it's great that you've got the content. You've never missed a beat. People are getting it. They're staying on your list. Now segment. Start to segment. Start to get specific. What more information do you want? What do you want less of? Ask that question. What do you want more of? What information do you want more of? What information do you want less of? That'll help you start segmenting. Jennifer says, I'm working on brand positioning by participating in CLIA, a plan on a cruise, a month to show my cruising expertise. I hope to launch my first opt-in freebie by month's end and begin to my email list. Okay, so this looks like a CLIA training program that will showcase your cruising expertise, and you're going to launch your first opt-in freebie. So you're going to start to build your list by offering free stuff. I love it. Nancy says it's so much easier to be both the group leader and the group coordinator. Nancy knows it. She does it all the time. Danielle says my niche is wellness travel, so I'm starting to partner with yoga, Pilates, and bar studios that may share the same clients. I love it. Go make friends. I believe in joint partnerships, or JVs, as Jeff Walker says, a joint partnership where you both have the same ultimate goal, and you also have a share like-minded audience, right, in this joint venture, and it's good for the both of you and good for everyone involved. Kay says calling on clients and telling them I'm updating my database of their passport. It's expiring. I like that. Find out what they are doing and if they know family members and ask about them. So Kay, you're using the passport just to update information as an excuse to make contact. I love that. I'm going to get through 2 more here. Nancy says, just got a referral an email from a Maine gubernatorial candidate that didn't get the nomination. Now she has time and wants to get away, travel to Africa, visit her daughter. There you go. Just got a referral. Referrals are magnificent. Don't you love them? Last two, Michael says, posting my picture and my travel experiences from groups that I've led in my business on my business page using Facebook ads to boost the posts. I love it. So, Michael, you're just sharing the stuff you're doing. You're proving to the world that you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. There's nothing better than that. And Michael says, as the year ends, I'll start a whisper campaign for my 2019 and 2020 groups. So you're going to start that whisper campaign. Remember, and Jackie, I hope you've watched this, and everybody, you got this idea, you want to lead it, you don't want to go after email addresses because you got to scare people away. You got to go gently. You got to go gently. Okay, it's all part of this special market. It's a launch sequence, friends. Tell them, give them the information, and the people who are not interested, they'll fall off. It's okay. You can't help everybody. As Mike says, you want to help the people you can. That's it. All right, friends, we are at time. My goodness, this hour flew. I hope you got what you came for. Please leave me your comments and suggestions. I'll be posting our next meetup date. I shouldn't say that because it's really not meetup, but it's our coaching meeting probably later today. I'm grateful for you. Thanks for being here. Go make it happen. There's a lot of people out there, friends, who need your help. Help them. Prevent them from making bad mistakes on their vacations and business travel. Bye, everybody.